Well, hello everybody, I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular, and this is the video that I never wanted to make, and I'm going to show you why right now. Here is a Morgan dollar. I'm going to put it on the Sigma Metalytics machine. This is good. This is on the pre-1900 setting, which you should have with the Morgan dollars, but it shows the little black bar right there within the two brackets, which means that is within the acceptable range of 90% silver, which Morgan dollars and peace dollars are made of, or should be made of, trade dollars, etc., should have been that 90% silver alloy, 10% copper. Here is another one right here, shows it good within the brackets. And last but not least, this one right here, we're going to put it on the machine and it shows it good within the brackets, no problem. The only problem is only one of these three Morgan dollars is real. The rest of them are 100% fake. So let's go over right now what the problem is and what we need to be doing as collectors, as stackers, to protect ourselves and make sure that we're getting legit products and real silver coins. This is crazy. This is crazy to me right now. Well, hello everybody. I seek to educate and entertain through my journey of collecting coins and stacking precious metals. I encourage you to subscribe and please stay with me on this journey. I am Spegtacular, the Silver Stacular. All right, so I have my machine. I'm excited. I'm testing my silver. Oh, it looks like it's good. It's within the brackets. No problem. Go on to the next, right? Well, unfortunately, this is a fake and a copy, as you can see right there, printed on the actual coin right there. And I'm going to put it again on the Sigma. I want to really show this. I want to drive this home. This is bad news right here. It shows it as being legit, but it is not a legit coin. That is not cool at all. This right here is actually the only legit one on here, and you can see that the legit coin shows the same thing, that it's good, it's within the brackets. Come over here to the fake, it's good, it's within the brackets. That is not a good sign, ladies and gentlemen. Again, another fake right here. Luckily it was printed fake copy, but if we're a coin shop, a bullion shop, a hobbyist, and we just rely on this machine, we're gonna get burnt on these. This is bad for the hobby. This is what people did not want to see. And many of you out there, you're probably like, man, this is not good. I mean, what are we gonna do? We better go with a more expensive machine. Go with the XRF, the Spectrum Analyzer. Hold on, before you start talking about that, I'm gonna tell you where that failed here in a second. It's getting crazy out there. We gotta test with more than one device. I always say that, right? I always say you can't just rely on one test. The Sigma Metalytics Precious Metals Verifier, big long name. It's great for being quick and blah, blah, blah. You just throw it on there and you go about your day. But you still got to do other tests. I mean, you can't only rely on this machine to test and to identify a fake every single time. You got to use your eyeballs. I mean, that's so important. There's the ping test out there. This right here is the little precious metals ping tester, the pocket pinger. I promote this on my channel. I think it's a cool little tool for around $20, probably less if you use the little coupon code that I get from the company. You can end up getting this right here and just adding another layer to your counterfeit detection. And I'll use that right there. I'll show you how that works. But I have a piece of paper here where I wrote down all the information for a Morgan dollar, and we're gonna go over one of these fakes right here just to see what we see with this thing. So I'm gonna turn this off because we've already tested that this is failing us, right? And according to this paper right here, if that's what I was going by, and again, this thing says fake copy on there, thank goodness, but it would come up as 90% silver. With the test, that's not good, ladies and gentlemen. That's not good at all. 26.73 grams is what they should weigh at. So let's go ahead and get our dusty scale out here. This is my dusty version. Let's see, is that on gram? Yes, it is. All right, here we go. We're gonna put it on there. 26.4. A worn out Morgan dollar could weigh 26.46. That shouldn't be a problem. That's very, very close to 26.7. I wouldn't, put a red flag up about that in particular. So I would say, hey, that's good. That's good. Just for fun, let's actually weigh the legit one that I know is legit. Let's go ahead and set this back to zeros. and show you what a legit one would weigh. 26.6. So again, even still off of that number, but it's worn out a little bit. It's not, you know, it's not 100% right from the mint anymore. You know, it's got some wear to it. So again, I would say that number right there, that was good enough. I would trust that weight to say this Morgan dollar was real. And let's go with the diameter. That's important, right? Again, most of these tools, besides the Sigma, besides the XRF, are very, very affordable. You can get some of this stuff at Home Depot, some of this stuff at Amazon. I'll have a link down in the description for the pocket pinger. You know, it's easy to get some of this stuff for cheap. Let's see. This is the fake right here. We're going to do the diameter first. And yeah, these right here came from Home Depot, I think, these little digital calipers. And just be careful because these things are metal. They'll scratch other metals. Be very careful. But this is a fake. I don't care to mess this thing up. All right, so diameter of a Morgan should be 38.1 millimeters. And this is like spot on. 38.08. That is, you couldn't ask for better than that. That is great. We'll do the legit one real quick too. Just for funsies. 38.06. It's like the same thing, man. It's like right on the money. No problems. So... again, it would pass that test. I mean, we're passing lots of tests. And you'd ask yourself, man, where do I stop? Where do I stop testing? Let's see. Okay, this is the fake. I look at it for a second, make sure that was it. Thickness, right? Thickness is kind of, it's hard to really kind of go by the thickness of it, and that's measuring it this way. And it's because they vary greatly. They start getting worn down a little bit. Now that thickness goes. You look at the internet, and it says the thickness should be about 2.4 millimeters. Try to find one 2.4. It's very tough to find a Morgan like that. You're typically going to try to measure the lowest part on the fields if you're getting that type of measurement. Whenever I measure Morgans, it's usually around the 2.5 in the center, and then around the rim you get about a 2.7. But either way, you know, your mileage may vary. I'm going to go ahead and put this kind of in the middle. And I'm getting 2.9. A little bit of a red flag for sure. That would cause me to go, wait a minute. You know, that's a little bit high. Because we're talking about thickness now. You know, these mints weren't trying to give free silver out. 2.9 all the way through, pretty much. And we'll test one more kind of in the middle-ish. 2.9. And so a little bit on the thick side for sure. I'd raise a red flag over that thickness. That would kind of be a little make you go, Here's the legit one. Kind of in the middle, we're getting a 2.68, and on the rim, we're getting a 2.7. So you can see how that can really vary. And again, this is legit. You're not seeing 2.4 like you would find on the internet about these. So not sure where they're getting that information from. That was a little red flag. I can't really draw a red flag, but here's a flag with a star in it. Yeah, a little bit of a red flag right there with the one that says copy on it. Ping test. This is where it really, really starts to go, wow, that's a difference. And I'm sorry to my viewers that can't hear this test. Apparently, some of my viewers that have a little bit of hearing issues, this just escapes them, this part of the video where I test one of these. But there is an app on your iPhone, your Android. I think for iPhone, it's Precious Coin Tester on the App Store. So check that out, and that can help you out. If your hearing's bad like mine is, you can use that, and this will definitely help you out. But I'm gonna ping this into the microphone as best as I can and let you hear this. All right, that was 3 pings. You hear it does not resonate. It's very quick. As soon as it stopped resonating, I went ahead and I pinged it again to try to show you the breakups of when it stops, actually going bzzing. Because silver makes this nice, long, drawn-out resonation sound. But here we go with a legit one, and hopefully you can hear the difference. If not, like I said, that app is very good. You can even use that app right up to this video as I'm playing it, and it should be able to tell you counterfeit or not. It's kind of crazy. Technology, right? Okay, here's a legit one. Just now stopped. Here's another one. Kind of a weak hit right there. We'll try it again. And you can see the ping test identified something was wrong with this coin right here, because Every Morgan is going to sound very, very similar. You know, you might get some weights that are a little different. You might get some thickness and diameters that are a little different for sure. The composition, the alloy of the metals might be slightly different. They're going to be 90%-ish, but like, you know, right on the money. For the most part, it's going to be pretty darn close to those numbers. But the pinging, that's not something you can just make up. You know, that's going to be about the same exact way every single time. And so that's a really, really good way. Do you have to buy these right here? No, the sound resonates longer when you use one of these right here, for sure. It draws out much, much longer. But you can also use your finger if you just want to go kind of a freebie route, and you would just do something like this. My thing is, man, I drop coins so much when I'm doing this. They fall, and if you have valuable coins, you're risking some damage. You can hear that one versus, I'm going to try to balance this thing. Here we go. This is the fake one now. Just like I'm hitting a brick, man. It just kind of stops. So the ping test has identified this as a counterfeit, man. Of course, like I said, it actually says counterfeit on there, but that really expensive, this $800-something machine, and they make more expensive versions than this too, it could not identify it. And like I said, that XRF, I'm going to tell you a story about the XRF here in a second. It's going to blow you away. And that's a way more expensive machine. You're talking tens of thousands of dollars for these XRF machines. And when you're paying that kind of money, when you're paying $800 for Sigma, when you're paying $20,000, $10,000, whatever, you know, depending on the different models of the XRF machines, and you're not able to identify fake coins, what the heck are you spending your money on? That's crazy to me. That is crazy, crazy. Last test right here is your eyes. Always use your eyes. I know that's one of the things that goes on us when we start getting older a lot of times is our eyeballs. I get it. I'm right there with you. My eyes are going. But you should be able to see how the lettering is definitely different. Let's see here. My camera should focus a little bit on this, but can you enjoy that? Can you see how different these look? Now, again, worn out, that's gonna, you know, cause some issues and stuff for identifying some of the letters and stuff. You're gonna see them kind of like, you know, a little bubbly here and there and stuff. But look how crisp the letters are on the authentic, which is behind. It's the one on the bottom. Very, very crisp looking, very, very sharp. Sometimes when you look at the stars, you're not gonna be able to tell it as much, but on these ones right here, you totally can for sure. They don't look right. They look like little bubbles. Look like little bubbles. We'll do the back real quick. Worn out coins are definitely more difficult to identify counterfeits than just, you know, pure right from the mint style coins. But look at the lettering. Can you see that? See the difference? I know some of you are like, oh, he just likes to talk, man. This is way too drawn out. And sure, but there's a lot of information to give right here. I mean, there's a lot going on with these coins. And I really, really want to drive home the point that you got to test. And you can't just test one way. You got to test multiple ways. Looks like the whole rotation is a little bit off on this, doesn't it? A little bit? Or am I crazy? I might be crazy. Maybe a little bit. Yeah, man. Craziness. One thing, too, is the mint marks. A lot of times these mint marks, when they're tiny like that, they're hard to copy because they're so small. Look how little that S is. Can you see how little that thing is? It is hard for the copycats to get that right. There's an O mint mark. And of course, sometimes they come in different sizes too. So don't just think because you have one that's a different size S that is fake, because different years had different size of things. So you got to know what you're looking for sure. But use your eyeballs. That will help you out a lot. The ping test on this one right here identified this thing as a fake. Eyeballs, fake. Red flag on the thickness. But man, everything else was showing it good to go. Now, I do believe there's some kind of clad or copper core inside of this coin right here. And unfortunately, the downside of that when it comes to a fake coin is that with the magnet test, it works about the same as silver. If you had a magnet slide, you would see it for yourself, but you can see this right here. This does not stick to the fake right here, as it would not stick to a real one either. But when you put it at an angle and you slide the silver or the magnet down, you'll see that it slides slowly down it. Which is the same that it would be for silver. It has a slow slide to it. So silver and copper both react very, very similarly to magnets, or with magnets, I should say. So unfortunately, this would have been a, hey, I passed the test on this as well. This would have been a check mark with the magnet test. Kind of crazy. Kind of crazy how scary these copies are getting. Do multiple tests. Now, many of us knew about this issue, and I didn't try to talk about this too much ever because a lot of people from India and China, actually, according to my analytics on my videos, they watch these things, and I think that they're trying to figure out how to make better fakes. I think, because I'm the guy that does, the anti-counterfeit videos. I think they're trying to make, better fakes, and they proved it here with these ones right here, those sons of guns. But many of us knew this problem right here with the Sigma, and people were like, oh, wow, you can take a 40% half dollar and put it on the 90% setting and it'll show it as good. First of all, the Sigma doesn't work like that, okay? That's not how the Sigma works. The XRF works more along the lines of telling you exactly what's the composition of the metals inside of a coin. But when you use a Sigma that way, you're doing it wrong. You're doing a disservice to the actual electronics in the Sigma, because it's not a genius machine. It's only as smart as its owner is, right? So based on all your research that you can do, that a 40% half dollar from 1965 to 1970 is 40% silver. It's never going to be 90%. So when you put it on as a 90% coin and you get a reading, you're already messed up. I mean, this is supposed to be for Morgan dollars, this setting right here. It's not supposed to be for even peace dollars. This is a Morgan dollar setting. So when you're putting some kind of other coin on there, you're doing the machine wrong. You've already messed up. So I'll put it here. It'll go in the brackets. It'll show it as good, right? But again, there is no 40% silver setting on the Sigma. It doesn't exist. Does not exist. So when you do this right here, you're doing it wrong. But that's an example of what I think is going on inside of these coins. I think they're using the same composition potentially. Here. And actually, you can put an Eisenhower. I think I have an Eisenhower. It'll do the same thing. Just a regular clad Eisenhower. No silver whatsoever in these ones. Let's see. I believe it should show it as 90% as well. But again, we know this is not a 90% coin, so we're messing with the machine when we do this. See? Boom. It shows it in the middle, but again, we're messing around. We're playing games now. So people that have a hissy about that, I feel like that's an issue that you're just doing the machine wrong. It's not that kind of machine. It's not the XRF. But that being said, let's talk about the XRF just for a second. Actually, also, the water displacement test. That is a test that you can do, and it'll show you if a coin is let's say, a silver composition or gold or whatever. It's really good at doing that. But if the counterfeiter gets the details right on the coin, and let's say they actually use the same composition as a real coin. Let's say they use the 90% silver right here, that like a real coin is. That water displacement test is not going to identify a counterfeit. It's only going to identify metals. So is that the best possible test? Maybe, maybe not, depending on what these counterfeiters are doing. It's also a very lengthy process, getting everything set up, tying a little bow onto your coin, dipping it in there, calculating the results, and then going on to the next one. Plus, you're dipping it in water. It's supposed to be distilled water. What if that water has some minerals in there, some impurities? Even though it's supposed to be distilled, worse things have happened. You know what I mean? Sometimes accidents happen with these companies that, make distilled water and other kinds of purified water, and they put some bad ingredients in there, it kind of slips through the cracks. I don't want that on my coins. But to each their own. You do what you want to do. I don't like that test. It's lengthy. It takes a lot of time. I feel like there's other tests I could be doing much quicker than that test. Okay, so now I got to go to the computer real quick. Give me a sec here. Okay, there's a reason why I'm going to this computer. And this is because I made this video in August of 2020, right here. August 21st, 2020. And I don't know if you watched this one, but the title was Fake U.S. Trade Dollar Purchased Online, Coin Help You Featured Coin. Coin Help You is another YouTuber. He sent me this coin because he identified the coin as a counterfeit. And so I said, hey, can you send that coin to me so I can teach others about it? And he did. So Coin Help You identified it as a counterfeit via, I think the Sigma showed it as being kind of off. So the Sigma, when you use this, and this is me going long-winded because there's a lot of information here, the Sigma penetrates deeper down into the metal to identify it, right? So it's, and it's a very specific machine. It needs certain calculations. It needs you to kind of be on your toes when you're putting in what type of coin it is or what it's supposed to be, and it's only designed to do certain things. So the Sigma can test deeper. Now, if you use an XRF on this, is it going to be able to test? Well, let's get to that, because actually I got an email from the creator of the ping test, the app, right? The precious coin tester. And he sent me this email. Let me read this real quick. 1 second. Because I had sent that coin in that video to him because he thought that it was kind of interesting. It was a very interesting video because it wasn't easy to identify that coin like I had hoped, right? The Sigma was like the only test besides your eyes that really was helping out with that one. But he says, this is just recent too. He sent me this on March 27, 2022. Hello, Speg. I hope you're doing well. We've recently done quantitative analysis on the fake trade dollar you've provided us. The result shows that it has a base alloy of 78.7% silver. So I don't know how they got that number, but the counterfeiters took some kind of silver and put it into this thing. 78.7%. So they were trying to make it somewhat legit with a 90% silver plating. Very interesting, right? So silver on the core of it, and then just a plating of 90% silver. This is where the problem has when you're using the XRF machine. Listen to this. And he goes, indeed, it is quite difficult to identify. It shows 90% silver even with a good XRF machine. And he says the XRF cannot penetrate enough. Because with the XRF machine, even though it's an expensive machine, man, $10,000, $20,000 plus for some of these things. And sometimes you have to have a license for them. They have radiation they put out. These things are crazy. They are a surface test. A surface test. That means they test the surface. Sigma tests down more into the core. And the XRF is more of a scientific machine, but on the surface. And let's see. The assay office has removed some coating and can only find a lower silver content when that is done. Let's see. It is done by an assay office in the Netherlands, Warburg, and is one of the country's official assay offices. They obtain similar results with 2 different analysis methods, so it should be trustworthy enough. So with those assay offices, what they're usually doing is they're doing the fire assay, which is the ideal way to identify what the metal content is of something. The only problem with the fire assay is that you destroy whatever you test. So if you have a highly numismatic coin and you throw it over into the fire, that's a surefire way of destroying your coin. But you get the actual results of what is in that coin. Fascinating information, I think. But yeah, man, the XRF could not do that. So, long story short, you got to use more than one test. Don't rely on the XRF. Don't rely on the Sigma Metalytics. Don't rely on just one test. Get some of these little things. Get a pocket pinger for what, $20. Get one of these from Home Depot. These digital calipers for, I think this was like $15, $20. These little scales on Amazon or wherever you want to go. I'm sure eBay has some. I'm sure you can get scales just about anywhere. Office Depot probably has little scales too. These things are like $5, $10, and they get dusty when you don't use them for a while, for sure. But yeah, just a little extra, thing. Get some books on coins, man. Sometimes you can find some cheap books. I know that my local, Books A Million. When you go in there to the clearance section, sometimes they have a lot of coin books that are like the Red Book that's, a couple, years out of date. But Morgan dollars are going to be in there every time. Morgan dollars are not coming back. Well, shoot, now they are. Now I just said that. 2021, they came back. But the old Morgan dollars are the old Morgan dollars for a reason. And they're in those books, man. You can find a lot of information. There's pictures in there. I think I have one somewhere around me. I don't know where it is. I always have a Red Book somewhere. Except for right now when I actually need it. Red Book, where you at, dude? Oh, is that you? There he is. I knew I had one. Okay. So yeah, it has all the information that you can need at a glance. You can find out the size of something, the weight, etc., the diameters. You can kind of get some pictures too. You can even put the coin directly up to the picture, and the pictures are supposed to be the exact same diameter of the legit coin. So if you have a coin that's way off the edge right there when you put it on there, might be a red flag for you. But you can use the books even to try to figure out if you have a legit based on the design. Is it the best way? The best way is probably having a real coin in your hand to try to compare it to. But get one of those red books. Anyways, that's my information. I'll have, again, I think we have a coupon code with Pocket Pinger. I will put that information down in the description of the video. Highly encourage you to get some of these simple, cheap tools. And for those with the Sigma out there, if you just trusted only this machine and you said, hey, I tested everything with the Sigma, I want you to test again. I really do. I want you I really encourage you to make sure that what you have in your stack is real. And bullion dealers out there, coin dealers, you guys that are saying, hey, I'm just trusting this machine right here. It's never failed me. I show you no problem that this is a known fake right here. I'm going to turn it on again. It will actually trick this machine that you paid good money for, man, 800 something bucks. And these aren't changing too much. They're not fixing them up to make them better and better and better. They made smaller machines that go with your phone, so you can have, you know, little, I don't know, machines you can take with you here and there. But it's about the same exact machine, man. Look at that. Shows it legit. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I don't like that. I don't like seeing fakes in the hobby. I know you don't either. You want real stuff, and I don't want you to be down the line somewhere needing to sell something, or whoever you pass these on to needing to sell something, and then they go, hey, yeah, I can't buy that, man. That's fake. You should have did more testing. In fact, a lot of your stuff is fake. Maybe, you know, 50% of it's fake. And so it's only worth X amount of dollars where you thought it was going to be this. Maybe you needed to pay for some medical bills or something like that, and you were relying on this stuff, but it was fake. If you had tested it when you first got it, maybe you could have taken it back. Maybe you could have, you know, banged on the door of the person that sold it to you. Hey, you know, give me my money back right now, man. You're selling me counterfeit stuff. You know, you shyster. I want to see you have real stuff. Long-winded, I know. I apologize. I'm going to go right now, though. Appreciate you for watching. Pocket Pinger in the description. This stuff right here, Home Depot, Lowe's, Amazon. Get it. There's no reason not to. A few bucks kind of can help you out. Set your mind at ease. Appreciate you for watching. Spegtacular, I'm in here somewhere, is out.